I'm Knives Monroe, and you're watching Good Content.
There is a conspiracy theory that I heard recently that mortified me, and I'm not really much for conspiracy theories, but this one, for some reason, stuck with me because I see possibly some questionable validity to it. And it was about 10, 15 years ago, AI took over. And that's why we've been seeing this crazy sort of obsession with the internet. Like, that is our reality. Everything we do is like for AdSense, everything we do is for the algorithm. Like, why is it people versus an algorithm? If it's not people versus AI already. And, that made me really paranoid. I started questioning everything, and I went full Alex Jones down this rabbit hole, and it wasn't a pretty sight. This idea that 10, 15 years ago, that AI was sort of perfected, and now it kind of just controls us, and Mark Zuckerberg was like a fucking lizard person, and yeah, it got me thinking. I'll just say that. And I'm still sort of reckoning with that and questioning everything.
But let's talk about Bo Burnham's Inside. There is a track called All Eyes on Me, and it's in the third act of the movie. They call it a comedy special, but it really is a film. And it's truly transcendent. It's truly, man, I felt like I was watching the third act of 2001: A Space Odyssey when I was watching it. It felt like I was on the event horizon of death. I felt so many things, especially the first time I watched Bo Burnham's Inside, and especially when I got to the point where I was experiencing the All Eyes on Me, just cinematic feast that it was, and it's just one dude and his camera, and it's fascinating because, if you want to be dismissive or reductive, you would call that sequence like a music video, right? Because it's not like he's performing it live, but there are these affectations that are on top of it, where he's sort of like riffing, and he goes on once again a little Kanye rant.
You want to hear a funny story? So, 5 years ago, I quit.
And he's talking the audience through, basically his panic attacks, and then getting to January 2020, and then look what happened. The pandemic happened, and we're all stuck inside again. And it goes back to the song, and it reminded me of David Lynch's Mulholland Drive, where they go to Club Silencio, and there's this sequence where this man is telling the audience,
"No hay banda. There is no band. Il n'est pas d'orchestra. This is all a tape recording. No hay banda, and yet we hear a band." It's all recorded. No hay banda.
this is all a recording, this isn't real. And then he introduces Rebecca Del Rio on stage, and she sings a cover in Spanish of Roy Orbison's Crying. And you can pinpoint the moment where Mulholland Drive is being the greatest film of all time.
Sola y llorando, 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 no es fácil de entender que al verte otra vez yo esté llorando.
And Naomi Watts is shaking in her seat, and I was crying the first time I watched it, and I felt like I was suspended in a point in time, like almost like a sunken place of like this moment where I was just in a free form suspense of whatever the magic of cinema is. And I know it's very pretentious sounding, but Mulholland Drive made me feel that way. and then the rug is taken out underneath you. It wasn't real. It was an illusion. Rebecca Del Rio wasn't singing. It was all fake.
Tu amor se llevó todo mi corazón y quedó llorando, 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 llorando.
And you can take the movie a step further and say the movie's a fantasy. It's not real either. But in the Matrix Morpheus sense of the word, what is real? If real is just all electronic impulses, what's the difference between life and artificial intelligence, artificial life? And God, Bo Burnham's Inside is awfully about that as well. What is real? What is authenticity? Everything's a presentation.
Get on out of your seat, all eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah. Heads down, pray for me, heads down now. Pray for me, I said get your fucking hands up. Get up, get up. I'm talking to you, get the fuck up. Get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat, all eyes on me, all eyes on me. Hey, fucking get your fucking hands up. Get it on out of your seat, all eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah, come on, hands down, pray for me, hands down now. Pray for me, I said get your fucking hands up. Yeah, all eyes on me, all eyes on me.
He leaves these bouts in the movie of him crying and having a meltdown that are probably contrived and probably written in a screenplay format for all we know. And it doesn't, nevertheless, take away from the fact that it's this potent feeling of, sort of a post-commercial nihilism, a sort of just authentic feeling of being alone and what the pandemic of 2020 felt like as a creator, as a storyteller, as a human fucking being. I felt many different things watching All Eyes on Me, and it's something worth going back to. And if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Find somebody with a Netflix account if you don't have one and watch it. My name is Knives Monroe, and thanks for watching good content.